I was never caught committing a crime, but information from confidential informants resulted in several investigations. After a highly prosperous run, I was taken down by state law enforcement officers and federal agents who pieced together cases against me using these informants. I faced the rest of my life in prison and was asked to cooperate against other mobsters in return for my freedom. I refused to inform on friends and associates, and my lawyers negotiated a plea bargain after the main snitch against me was thrown out of the government's witness protection program. I was sentenced to 12.5 years and sent to the maximum security penitentiary in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. In prison, I realized that crime was wrong. Sure, life is a struggle and we can't live it on our knees, but I didn't have the right to victimize people. I decided to change my life. While in prison, I read my first book. It wasn't easy at first. My vocabulary sucked, as did my attention span and ability to grasp whatever I read. But I stuck with it and discovered the joy of reading. Soon, stacks of books lined the floor of my cell, were shoved under my bunk, and piled around the toilet, where posters of nude women decorated the stone walls of other cons' cells. Maps covered mine. For years, I read every day until the muscles in my eyes ached, and I would conk out from sheer exhaustion. A few hours sleep, long enough to rest my eyes, then back to the books. My cell became a live-in classroom where I studied every subject possible. I personally reversed one of my federal cases from prison and was released after serving 8.5 years. By then, I had taught myself the art of writing by analyzing the novels of 19th century masters, and I had written a novel of my own. Upon my release from prison, I had this glorious notion that I was leaving criminal behavior behind, and with it the variety of rogues I dealt with on a daily basis on the street. I dreamed of taking up my place in the legit world. How different it would be from the life I had known. To my surprise, I realized that my idea of the legit world was a fantasy. I soon encountered creeps in legal society far worse than many of the mobsters I had ever known. These wolves all hid in sheep's clothing. As a loan shark, I never increased the interest rate on someone's loan. If anything, I dropped the rate as a reward for timely payments. Credit card companies increase your rate regardless of your history and do so without your knowledgeable consent. How about all those hidden fees? It's in the small print, one customer service rep told me. You should have read it. That's like me increasing someone's VIG on a loan and saying to him, when I gave you the money, I whispered that part. You should have heard me. Collection agencies call a person's house and harass whoever answers the phone. They don't care if your mom or your grandmother is about to drop dead. Too bad, pay up. Say what you want about the mob, but Mafia code forbids mobsters to even go near a man's home, let alone harass his family. Banks foreclose on homes and toss the occupants into the street. The local sheriff issues a court order, locks the door, and throws the family out. I'd bet any dad who lives through that would rather deal with us. You might get a couple of broken bones, maybe a black eye. Big deal. You still own your house. Let's be real. Mobsters are selfish men, out for personal gain. But so are businessmen. Mobsters may kill their own, but everyone else gets a little slack. Most businessmen, banks, and credit card companies prey on everyone. We only kill each other, said Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. As a mobster, I was feared, so vultures stayed clear of me. As a legit guy, I became fair game. Everyone tried to screw me. Coming home from prison, I needed a car and an apartment. Time and again, I was bullshitted by car salesmen with the old bait and switch. Every time I was ready to sign on the dotted line, the deal changed. I rented an apartment. During the winter, my landlord wouldn't turn up the heat, but the cheap bastard wanted his rent on time. I had to buy an electric heater. When I left and asked for my security back, he hemmed and hawed, claimed he didn't have it. I shopped for a house. Every mortgage broker tried to put me into an adjustable rate loan, which they swore would never go up. I knew they were lying. When I threatened to return with a baseball bat if it just so happened to go up, they promptly admitted that the rate could very well increase.